Hello and welcome back. It's been a while, but I wanted to kind of summarize what's been going on, give an update to everything. So first off, we are rebranding and calling it SolidTV now. It's been a while. We've kind of been this Solid.js integration with Lightning.js, and that was kind of confusing for a lot of people because some people don't know what Lightning.js is, which is a TV app framework that's built off of WebGL, and it was kind of getting long and confusing to say it all the time. So just rebranding now, call it simply Solid TV. A lot easier moving forward. A little bit of work to rebrand, but I think long term this will be a lot better. We have a new website up, starting to do some marketing around this, but there's been a lot happening over the last few months that I'm excited to kind of give you a general update on all the things. If you haven't seen, like, I do post a lot of stuff on LinkedIn, but one of the big things, we forked the Lightning.js renderer, which was kind of the foundation of the Solid.js integration. And we now own that as part of the work that I've been doing is optimizing that and making it better. Because one of the issues that I had was, users would be developing these TV apps and then they would be animating on the screen and they'd be like, this is kind of slow. Like it's janky. And I was like, it's not solid. Solid.js is extremely fast. It's building the nodes really fast, but the animations were bad. So I had to dive into the renderer, which is the WebGL code, and optimize that. I spent a lot of time in there and really just like knocked it out of the park as far as frames per second. So it's doing much better on even at the lowest of devices. We're getting roughly a minimum of 30 frames per second, which is just incredible and great. So very, very happy with the progress with that. The website's up. There's a solidtv.dev now. I started publishing some articles, just did this announcement. This is part of the announcement of rebranding to Solid TV. We have a new GitHub, so everything is moved over to this Solid TV. And now I'm going to go into some of the features that I've been working on and have updated in the renderer. So one of the issues that some folks have is like centering of text. Centering of text is really a nightmare, especially in buttons. And the Lightning.js renderer has SDF text rendering, which is signed distance field, and it's basically anti-aliasing for text for WebGL. It's custom built. It's a really good idea, but centering things was very confusing and difficult. Centering things with line height. So I've implemented different methods, this text baseline mode that is a global centering in the renderer that allows you to set optical, cap, or X centering, line box. So the different centering methods based on, do you normally use capital letters? Do you normally use, uppercase and lowercase? So if your buttons are always all capital letters and you have capital button across the thing, what you want to do is set your default text baseline mode to cap, which would then center based on capital letters. Whereas optical, it's centering based on a mix between capital and lowercase letters. So it's kind of this perfect line in between the two. Whereas cap, it would actually handle capital button and center with capital letters. Next, implemented vertical align. So now you can actually do vertical align top, middle, and bottom. That's been missing for a while, but it's there. Ideally, like the simple way of centering text is just to set the line height equal to the box height, and that will vertically center it. So spent a lot of time cleaning up the SDF rendering and making this work and making it very easy to get perfectly centered text. So hopefully everyone will use this, provide feedback. If you still have questions or concerns, let me know. But it just moves things, I think, a couple pixels off of the current renderer or the Lightning 3 version of the render. But everything is good going forward. Next, there's this new radial shader progress, which allows you to do countdown timers. And you can do all kinds of colors and everything with this. But a lot of people have requested this feature because, in TV apps, you have next episode coming up and you want a countdown timer that's a radial rather than a line. This allows you to do that. It's a shader, so it's very easy to set up and configure with different colors, and just a really nice feature. This is in the Solid demo app, so you can go to this countdown page and see how it's implemented. very easy to set up. Next, we have these other new features. So the demo app has some updates. So this is the text centering page that you just saw. There's also a thing that I've been working on. There is a new flex layout system, which I'm going to make the default in the next version. And essentially, it is very similar to the current one, except that you're able to use arrays for padding and margin, just like in CSS, where you can do top, right, bottom, left, and it actually works. Right now, if you do padding equals 18, or it only does the left and right padding of the button. It doesn't do the top and bottom. With the new system, it will do top and bottom as well. So it's a breaking change, but going forward, it should be much better because more people are familiar with that and they get confused like, why doesn't padding work on the top and bottom? So now it will. The other thing with this new flex system is it's actually faster than the current one too. So you'll get more performance, faster layout, plus also more features out of it. So very excited. It will require some tweaks, which I'm thinking of ideas of how to make it more backwards compatible. But it's very exciting going forward. Another thing I wanted to talk about is one of the things that I did from the beginning was everything was a view and a text, and there was a component for view and text. So it's a capital V and a capital T, and you would import it. But the issue with that is like SolidJS is really optimized for doing lowercase or just doing intrinsic JSX components is what they're called. Well, I don't have the inspector turned on right now. Otherwise, the inspector is actually improved as well. I wanted to go through that. So it actually show you the component name and component location. And that makes it easier to debug, makes it easier, like things actually align where they're supposed to now. So that's kind of all fixed up. So yeah, even the inspector is much better. Everything is essentially much better. So I'm very excited about that. But where was I? So I was talking about capital view and capital text. So SolidJS actually has additional overhead when you use capital. So moving forward, I'm recommending that everyone just use lowercase view and lowercase text and not import it. So I've actually deprecated that. This is going to be in the 1.3 version that's coming out. So it's not released yet, but it will be. And it's kind of an easy global find and replace to change that. And it should give you a little bit better performance and less memory usage. Just because you don't have to create, SolidJS doesn't have to create all these trackers for the properties. So that was the other thing. And yeah, that is basically it. The renderer is open source. You're welcome to go check it out and see all these new things. Oh, there's this other feature that I recently added, which is this clipping. I'm going to make that bigger so you can see it. But one of the issues with clipping, let me actually pull up this commit real quick because it should also show. You should have an image in here. Boom. Okay, it does have the image. There it is. So one of the things with clipping is like you would just set clipping true and it would clip the bounds margin. But the issue was like you would have a parent container doing the clipping and then you would have to move the child X over by 10 pixels and the Y down by 10 pixels because if it scaled up, it would actually be outside of the clip zone. So what this now clipping does, now it takes an array that you can actually say, give me an extra 10 pixels or 40 pixels on each side. So that way, I'm no longer clipping things that extend past the box when they scale up. So it's just a very nice, simple feature that makes it so much better when you have to clip rows of items and they scale up and you don't have to move everything by a couple pixels, which was very frustrating. So very excited about that. There's just all these little nice things that have been added into the framework, which just kind of add up. And it's hard to go through them all because it's been happening so fast, which is really great. I've been using Claude as you can see with some of the commits, and AI has really accelerated the rate of change and development that can actually happen to constantly be like, I have a new idea. Let me iterate on it and push it up. And new idea, iterate, push it up. And the really important part was like, I have a green check mark now. I've been very diligent now in making sure all the visual regression tests pass. We ensure that we have code quality and testing, and that way we can move fast make all these changes and ensure quality, as the AI constantly checks, tests, make sure everything's working. But we can just move forward very quickly, and very excited about having control of the renderer because, when you have the framework and you have control to make changes, you can add new shaders, you can add new features, which just make the framework so much better, and allow people to develop TV apps so much faster with the features that they actually want. So if you have any requests or anything that you're like, man, I do this one pattern and it's really complicated, how can we make it simpler? Please reach out, let me know. Finally, I want to end with this announcement. SolidJS has been in this 2.0 for a while, or they're getting ready to release 2.0. I'm gonna play with this at some point, probably by the end of the year, maybe Christmas time. Just because, like, one of the concerns is we can't upgrade to this right away. And if we do, like, the problem is always the older devices. Like, will it work? How much effort is it to upgrade to 2.0 for developers? But I really like what Ryan has been doing with Solid 2.0, and he's really emphasized, like, AI is so much better at understanding Solid 2.0 that you'll get much better code. It's more performant, like, it's just all around better. And the only concern that I really have is, like, how backwards compatible is it? Will it still work with Chrome 38? And what will it take to upgrade? So those are some of the things that are in my wheelhouse. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, leave a comment in the video, and also check out our Discord, always open for, conversations. So thanks for watching and take care.